Can I just say, early 90s, I graduated high school in 93, but a majority of my school, Ice Cube, were wearing Raiders caps.
Yeah.
And you know what? We didn't even know one player that played for the Los Angeles Raiders. Did you ever get a cut from the Los Angeles Raiders for their merchandise?
Man. Nah. You know, we need to talk about that. You know what I mean? My attorney been on this for about 30 years now.
Because Jay-Z,
you know what I mean?
Jay-Z talks
I need
about...
an answer.
In this video, we're diving into some heated claims from Ice Cube himself, where he hints at rappers from Jay-Z to Kanye West, allegedly trying to influence him into keeping quiet on certain issues.
Jay-Z talks about how he made the New York Yankees hat famous, but you guys made Raiders so big.
Wait, whoa, Jay-Z, hold on. I don't know about that. You know, a fat dude named Babe Ruth probably made that famous. But no, we didn't get. You know, we didn't ask for no money. You know, just getting love from the Raider Nation. You know, we was stealing their logo, so you know they never came after us. We never went after them. And it's been a happy relationship ever since.
You boys in the hallway before were just talking American footy.
Ice Cube recalls the 90s when he and his crew made the Raiders cap a symbol of street culture. He mentions that while Jay-Z might claim credit for the Yankees' popularity, Cube and his people popularized the Raiders look without asking for anything back, not even a cut from the team.
And of course, the buzz here is Jared Hayne. I mean, we can't get enough of what's going on. It's a great story.
He's the man. I've been checking him out over at 49ers, San Francisco.
Yeah.
You know, hopefully, you know, he
What do you guys think? You know, I mean, you've seen what he's done so far.
He should make the team without a doubt. And you know, they should play him. You know, he looked like he got that attitude, you know.
Run through a wall.
Yeah, you know,
I know.
He's, you know, so he's a bowling ball out there.
It's
you know
amazing.
Reflecting on his early music, Cube admits he writes best when he's fueled by emotion. He nods to iconic tracks like F.K. the Police, which resonated due to their raw, unfiltered anger.
Can we talk about your career, Cube? It's been unbelievable. Is it fair to say that you write your best music when you're really, really angry? Because when we look at F the Police, we look at No Vaseline, which was an amazing song.
Yeah.
Do you sometimes, when you need inspiration, just go and stub your toe or something just to fire yourself up?
You know, I do write very good and fast when I'm angry, you know, but It Was a Good Day is my biggest song, so I get kind of confused on that, you know, because it's like, that's a song about everything going perfect.
When asked about the making of Straight Outta Compton, Cube explains how crucial it was to ensure the movie's authenticity. He shares how he regularly checked in with his son, who portrayed him in the film, making sure every scene matched reality.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So, but, you know, I do love to have that fire. I do love when that topic that I was like, yo, this need to be a rap, you know, and it's one of those songs that are, you know, a little edgy, you know what I mean, a little political, but still bang where you can still rock it in your car. You know what I mean? That to me is the strength of street knowledge, so to speak.
O'Shea Jr., in the film, when, you know, we were just talking about how amazing the story is. It didn't need any extra from Hollywood in it because the story is so phenomenal in itself.
Cube gets nostalgic about the wild parties during the NWA days, admitting they were filled with outrageous moments that would make anyone blush.
Diddy. You're hearing Diddy everywhere. Okay.
Yeah.
So, did you ever have any kind of run-in with Diddy? Did you ever do anything with Diddy? Any projects you worked on with him?
Yeah, he's produced a few records, or had his producers do a few records on my War and Peace album, the Peace Disc. Yeah.
How was he to work with?
It was cool. You know, he you know, gave us great music. We flew out to New York.
Ever wonder if Ice Cube was pressured to keep secrets about some of the biggest names? Rumors swirl around Jay-Z, Kanye, and more. Let's break down the revelations.
And I was mainly in the studio with the producer. You know, he had a stable of producers, so I was in the studio with his stable of producers, and I think we did some great music. And you know, I really, kind of, you know, lost contact with him and really stopped.
In a recent discussion, Ice Cube addresses the whispers surrounding some top industry names offering him incentives to keep things under wraps. He shares, "It's a wild business, and sometimes people want silence more than music." Though he doesn't name anyone specifically, he implies that loyalty is a rare thing in the industry.
You know, dealing with Puffy around 94.
Yeah. Any specific reason?
Yeah, I mean, you know, they was doing their thing, I was doing mine. And, you know, I'm not the partying type. You know what I mean? I ain't never been to a Diddy party. I ain't never really wanted to go. But I don't go to a lot of people parties. You know, that just ain't what I'm in it for. You know, you've been to one, you've been to them all.
When pressed about working with Diddy, Cube revealed they collaborated on several records. However, he admits he didn't stay in close contact, saying, "I stopped going to those parties and didn't keep up with that crowd." For Cube, the world of hip-hop parties and politics has always been a separate realm from his mission in music.
Are you surprised at what things are coming out with Diddy at all? Or you're like, you have no idea, it's none of my business, you'll live longer? Is that kind of like the mindset?
I mean, surprised. How could you be surprised with anything that happens in hip-hop? You know, hip-hop is the Wild West. So you're going to have the good, you're going to have the bad, you're going to have the ugly.
You think he's being targeted, or some of the stuff he's got, you know, there's credibility on what they're coming after him with the tapes and the feds and raiding his Miami home, his LA home?
As rumors surface about rappers leveraging power to maintain control, Cube laughs off the surprises, saying, "In hip-hop, you see the good, the bad, and the ugly. Nothing surprises me." He hints that power players may be willing to bend the rules if it benefits them, but he remains an observer, distanced from the chaos.
I believe he's being targeted.
You believe he's being targeted?
Yeah. I believe, you know, somebody, you know, has the power to pull the trigger to make, you know, this stuff, this domino effect happen.
Okay. All right. So you think he's being targeted?
The conversation shifts to allegations and investigations surrounding Diddy, and Cube shares his thoughts. "I think sometimes people get targeted," he explains, noting that when things fall apart, there's often more at play behind the scenes. Cube's insight offers a glimpse into the world where hip-hop legends face constant scrutiny.
First of all, Hollywood Walk of Fame, groundbreaking songs, Straight Outta Compton, F*** the Police, Boys in the Hood, Players Club, Ride Along, Straight Outta Compton, 21 Jump Street, Three Kings. It is a pleasure to have you here, man.
I'm trying to be like you when I grow up.
No, man. I
never said I wanted to do movies.
So then how did they
discover?
I really want to find out who took Pac out or who took Biggie out.
Mind your own business and you live longer.
Who has the most power in the entertainment industry?
You know, you gotta have balance.
In the world of hip-hop, secrets and stories often weave a complex tapestry, and no one knows this better than Ice Cube. Recently, Cube opened up about his journey, revealing intriguing encounters with some of the biggest names in the industry. From Jay-Z to Kanye, he shares how these rappers allegedly attempted to keep him silent. Let's dive into the highlights of his candid revelations.
You know what I mean? Gotta have a little R&B with your hip-hop. Gotta have a little funk with it.
Mix it a
little soul. Yeah, you know what I mean?
I got you.
How much they are invested in all these big labels and the prison industry. I'm not saying that the CIA is sitting there writing rhymes. Talked about some things that I've never talked about in the interview, so.
As a kid who grew up in LA, I follow his story very closely, Cube, and I've seen a lot of the podcasts. At the end of the podcast, he said, "I shared certain stories today I've never shared before. The 3 close calls he had as a kid."
Ice Cube reflects on his illustrious career, emphasizing how his groundbreaking work in music and film has shaped his path. He acknowledges the pressure that comes with fame, admitting that navigating the entertainment landscape requires a delicate balance. He stresses the importance of maintaining authenticity while juggling the demands of the industry, a balance that has defined his success.
It almost died. The story, I said, "Why did you leave the life and why did you not go become a gangster?" He told a story about what happened to his stepsister and what her husband did to his stepsister. That was such a life-altering event that got him to say, "I'm not doing this anymore." How he got recruited to Boys in the Hood for the movie, which makes no sense. I played him a clip of the time Suge Knight called into the podcast, and I said, "Here's what Suge said about a story with Eazy-E and Dre." Dre said this on speaker that got Eazy-E to cry. Do you believe this story?
During the conversation, Cube candidly discusses his childhood experiences in Los Angeles. He shares how pivotal moments, including near-death encounters, led him to a different life. This background laid the foundation for his eventual rise in the hip-hop scene, where he learned to harness his voice amidst the chaos.
And I asked him who he trusted out of the 3 the most. He broke it down and kind of went through it. we talk so many different things. We talk Lakers. We talked politics a little bit. We talked politics. I brought up a couple names in Hollywood on who were the most powerful people, and seeing how he would maneuver through some of these questions was just interesting to watch. I think you're going to enjoy this interview just as much as I did. So having said that, here's Cube.
As Cube dives deeper, he addresses the intriguing question of power dynamics within the industry. He raises eyebrows by hinting at discussions surrounding the influence that certain rappers wield. These insights hint at a broader narrative of how artists navigate their relationships and alliances, often at the cost of personal truths.
Did you ever think you would make it? I feel I'm so close I could taste sweet victory. I know this life meant for me. Yeah, why would you bet on Goliath when we got Bet David? Valuetainment, giving values contagious. This world of entrepreneurs, we get no value to haters. How they run, homie, look what I become. I'm the one.
All right, so we got a special guest in the house, and I want to properly introduce this guest. And when he, we first spoke, they called, they said, look, all Cube wants to talk about is politics.
Cube then shifts to the topic of trust, recalling experiences with fellow rappers who, according to him, have attempted to bribe him into silence regarding specific industry secrets. This revelation paints a picture of a competitive landscape where loyalty and discretion often come with a price, making it clear that the stakes are higher than many realize.
The last rapper that I interviewed in this very studio was Kanye West.
Yeah.
You've had a wobbly relationship with him, but you're back on track. I read that you saw him, in fact, a few days ago.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago. I mean, we were always cool. He spoke my name without really explaining what he meant, and I just really couldn't leave that statement out there.
In a recent revealing conversation, Ice Cube opened up about his complex relationships with some of hip-hop's biggest names. Tensions, bribes, and the pressures of silence are all on the table.
Without, he never explained what he meant. And so I had to, kind of rebut that. But since then we've talked, and I think Ye understands that generalizing will always get you in more hot water than being very specific. You can,
because I haven't really seen much
specific.
of him since I interviewed him. He's kind of disappeared.
Ice Cube began by reflecting on his previous encounters, specifically mentioning Kanye West. Despite a rocky history, Cube noted that they have reconciled recently. He emphasized that miscommunications, like when Kanye spoke his name without context, can lead to misunderstandings.
I mean, how is he? How's he dealing with what's happened to him?
I believe he's doing great. He's still, dealing with some people trying to hold on to his money. But for the most part, I believe he's in a good space. I think he's, learned a lot from this past year, and hopefully he'll come out better on that.
Moving on, Cube shared insights about Kanye's current situation. He suggested that while Kanye is navigating financial challenges, he believes Kanye is ultimately in a better place now.
You saw some of the crazier things he was saying, the anti-Semitic statements he was making. What did you feel as someone who knew him well? What did you feel about that?
I felt that if he was really upset with specific people, that the message he was saying would kind of hijack what he's really upset about, and that's kind of what happened.
Cube didn't shy away from discussing the recent backlash Kanye faced, especially regarding his controversial comments. He pointed out that if Kanye had grievances with specific individuals, the broader, generalized statements could detract from the real issues at hand.
You just can't generalize. You have to be specific, especially if you're talking about anybody, any race of people. You have to be specific on who exactly you're talking about.
This conversation raised eyebrows as Cube hinted at rappers trying to influence him behind the scenes. He suggested that the pressure to remain silent often comes from the desire to protect reputations and relationships within the industry.
And actually, going through the industry, doing your thing, as an artist, you get to a point where you're like, I don't care what the industry think. I only care about what Ice Cube fans think. And that's the freedom. That's when you having the most fun, when you cannot care about charts or sales or this or that or numbers, and you could just make your fans happy, and you worry about them, and everybody else can come along, but I'm not thinking about them first. I'm thinking about, you know, your fans is like your clientele. You want to keep serving them what they love, and just serve them, and everybody else will come along or not.
Yeah.
But these fans, they'll keep you eating.
Ice Cube shared his experience working with Jay-Z on a podcast, highlighting their creative synergy and mutual respect, revealing how their collaboration pushed boundaries and inspired fresh musical ideas.
Who killed Tupac and Biggie? You know, I think both of these dudes were assassinated in some kind of way. More Biggie than Tupac. I think Tupac might have got killed by a dude that they you know, had an incident with earlier that day, but Biggie's seems a little
JFK.
Governmental to me.
Ice Cube reveals shocking truths about Tupac and Biggie, shedding light on their legendary rivalry, untold stories, and the real impact of their lives on hip-hop culture. Don't miss it.
About a month ago, Kanye went on his crazy rant, and somehow your name got dragged into that.
You know, Cube's really set me up for this. You know what I mean? It's like you really influenced me to get on this anti-Semite, you know, vibe, and I'm here to finish the job.
Somebody turn it out.
What did the nigga say?
When a nigga turn the party out and say, you know, he did it because of you, you got to say something about that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, homie.
You inspired him to do it.
Homie.
That's what he said.
Nah. You got to stand on this one.
That's you, bro.
You understand? Just at the end of the day, you know, I just had to let everybody know that, you know,
don't blame
me for
don't
shit.
Bring me into your shit.
You know, talk your shit if you want to, but don't blame me for shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Ice Cube responds fiercely to Kanye West's controversial remarks, addressing the backlash and standing firm on his beliefs. Tensions rise as Cube calls for accountability in the industry.